Hello everyone and now welcome to a game between XiaoKai and Soin. This game taking place here on Turtle Rock. For all of you guys who are keeping track of these games, this is a best of 3 series. This is, well, a third game. So I don't know, spoiler alert. As a caster and as right, like you talk about the previous games, strategy. Spoiler alert. Your fault for not watching the games in order. This game now taking place here on Turtle Rock. Soin spawning as the red orc over here on the side of the map, opening up with a war mail altar of storms, and this is going to be, well, headhunters, the strategy that he used in game number 1. XiaoKai on this opposite side, opening up with the altar of darkness and a crypt, indicating that he should be going Death Knight with ghouls. Easier. The Death Knight needs more ghouls early on in order to do creeping, and therefore that's why you get that crypt a little bit down faster. Also, the Crypt Lord first allows undead players to creep only with the skeletal minion and beetles, thereby allowing the ghouls to stay closer to that lumberline harvest and get faster tech to tier 2. The Death Knight, however, such a powerful, important part of the army, and I like how there's tension in the different types of openings undead players have, outside of, well, always Death Knight first. All right, we should be looking at Farseer first here, and instead of a fast tech to tier 2, Solin opting to go for a barracks and really going to be start massing headhunters earlier on. Interesting call so far, as the Spirit Wolves are now making their way out. I felt like Soin played significantly worse than Soin in game 2. Um, I think his just overall strategy was just not nowhere near as strong. But then Soin had really come in. Harassed a lot, and with that heavy harassment was able to play the style of game he wanted. My apologies that I don't know why the overlay isn't working. I don't know what Sowen's stats are. I'll have to go ahead and, well, if I click here, will it show me 205? Yeah, but it won't still populate up there. All right, Farsi, you're going to get ready to engage. Death Knight now being forced to retreat back a little bit. He is just creeping with some skeletal minions, and that's something you can do here on Turtle Rock, as that green creep camp outside your base has a bunch of medium or a medium armor. That medium armor taking reduced damage from piercing, but taking increased damage from normal damage, which is what those skeletal minions deal. Skeletal minions actually, in terms of damage, actually hit harder than footmen. And since you get 2 of them, well, that damage does add up quickly. All right, Farsi, you're going to try and retreat back. Tech to tier 2 is underway, and Solin is already training up a good amount of headhunters as well. We should be looking at perhaps a Tauren. Are we going to have a Tauren Chieftain next? Yeah, a Tauren Chieftain next for that faster movement speed. That's what we saw him do in game number 1. That tech to tier 2 is a little bit slower, as we're looking at, well, still a little bit slower here, since he did train up that barracks, and that Tauren Chieftain is going to have a lot of units behind it, or excuse me, yeah, behind it. I was thinking, alongside it. No, the headhunters always stand behind their heroes as they are attacking, as the Farseer may try and go after these Goblin Merchant shops here and get those all-important Watcher wards. Aggroing those units, trying to pull them back. A couple of Spirit Wolves now coming in here. Headhunters dealing that damage, trying to pick off some of those units here. Meanwhile, Death Knight able to creep, getting double mantles of intelligence. And normally you wouldn't want that on a strength-based hero, but the Death Knight, well, if you say you had +6 intelligence on that Death Knight, an additional 90 mana on your Death Knight, well, you're going to be healing and healing so many of your units while blasting away your opponent's units as well. We are looking at a Tauren Chieftain as that second hero. More headhunters are getting added in. We should be looking at a tech to tier 3 at some point. That tech to tier 3, incredibly important. as those berserkers go from 375 hit points to 475 hit points, and I think that is actually one of the highest supplies for or highest hit points for a 2 supply unit. Farseer now still absorbing quite a bit of damage here, having to make sure that Gargantuan Sea Turtle was chasing after that Spirit Wolf for a little while longer. Gargantuan Sea Turtle with some chaos damage, trying to head after this Headhunter here. And as long as that Gargantuan Sea Turtle is chasing a unit, it is not actually dealing any real damage. Farseer picks up a Wand of Mana Stealing, not the item that he was looking for. A little bit of an unlucky drop there. Meanwhile, the Death Knight picking up a Potion of Invulnerability. Oh, all right. These very powerful consumable items. So important. Getting perhaps a Scroll of the Beast, timing alongside a fast push, healing salve onto that Farseer brought by that Tauren Chieftain, as that Tauren Chieftain does have Endurance Aura, getting faster attack speed across all of these units, all of these Headhunters here. Tauren Chieftain, what item is it going to be dropped? It is Tome of Agility and another Wand of Mana Stealing. All right, not quite what they are looking for. Death Knight still has plenty of mana. Perhaps it can be useful, but a Potion of Invulnerability or a Potion of Greater Mana, something that you can consistently use in battle as opposed to a situational consumable item, would have been the better call. Level 2 Tauren Chieftain now opens will have access to Stomp. Farseer sitting at level 3. Gargantuan Sea Turtle, what item is going to be dropped there? It was a Potion of Mana right there, and there you have it. Scroll of Speed trying to be used, but a couple of skeletal minions get in the way here. Frost Nova coming back across here. Berserkers, no, Headhunters still, not yet Berserkers, as those units are going to be retreating back. We are now upgrading the tier 3. Death Knight is at 3, Lich is at 1, going up against a level 3 Farseer and a level 2 Tauren Chieftain. Another Frost Nova goes down. There goes another Headhunter as well, as the Tauren Chieftain, well, doesn't have any real options. And XiaoKai able to just burst down a little bit more. Are we going to perhaps see an Ensnare? We should be looking at an Ensnare. There goes that Ensnare as well. Tauren Chieftain tries to land the Stomp. No Stomp. I would have thought the Stomp would have gone down a little bit earlier there, but the Death Knight with that Unholy Aura moving so quickly. It feels like the Death Knight moves faster than the Tauren Chieftain, even though the Tauren Chieftain has Endurance Aura of his own. Wand of Mana Stealing is useful. It is a 200 mana swing. The problem is that it is you only get 50 mana at a time. And what that does is it gives the undead players time to use their mana as well. So it's situational. Overall is ultimately what I'm saying. And by being situational, you have to care about the positioning of your Tauren Chieftain, the positioning of your Farseer, how close they are relative to the Death Knight and the Lich. Also, how much mana do they have? At the end of the battle, after a long drawn-out fight, if the Tauren Chieftain had a Potion of Mana, he could stomp the Lich after he uses a Potion of Mana, as opposed to having to verify and check first whether or not the Lich has 50 mana and whether or not the Tauren Chieftain himself has 40 mana in order to be able to stomp right behind it, or the subsequent mana. So that's why I say it's much more situational, and anytime you have to do more math in a high level situation, then, well, you could use it and then it doesn't work out. Sometimes you're just like, just let me use it and let me think about this. Yeah, this turtle fight is amusing. Yep. Okay, let's take a look here. Shadowhunter is now out onto the battlefield. There are so many red creep camps on the map. The items are just are going to be so plentiful, as the Lich is now out on the field alongside that Dark Ranger. Dark Ranger being able to get those black arrows, be able to, well, supplement the mana on that Lich. That Lich is at plus 11 damage. Forest Troll Warlord going to get taken down. Robe of Magi, is that going to be transferred to the Lich as well? And, well, and here's another situation. All right, you have a Wand of Mana Stealing up against a 500 hit point Lich, or 500 mana Lich. are you would you rather just have a potion of greater mana to give yourself 250 mana, or are you so happy that yes, I took away 100 mana from the lich, right? At this point, the wand of mana stealing, um, well, even though you are taking mana away from the lich, the lich is going to be able to get back up to enough mana, so you're never going to be able to really drain enough mana from that lich to really make it or to be a big enough difference. Shadowhunter now sitting at level 2, Farseer sitting at level 4, Tauren Chieftain sitting at 3, as we see this last force troll warlord creep camp get cleared out. Ogre Lord going to get cleared out here. Lich, is it going to get some crazy claws of attack plus 12 item? And if it does, that Lich's auto damage is just so good. What is the item there? Death Knight picks up well, nope. It looks like it is going to be Endurance Aura for this Dark Ranger. Okay, you have a good case. And I guess that's what makes items good, or makes things useful to talk about. Like in comparison to each other, what would you rather have? I still feel Wand of Mana Stealing compared to Potion of Greater Mana, Potion of Greater Healing, Potion of Invulnerabilities, and Scroll of the Beast. That's an if scenario. The timing on when you get that Scroll of the Beast often allows you to do a little bit of a timing push. You have a much stronger army than your opponent before your opponent, especially undead, has access to tier 3 and the ability to devour magic. All right, going into an engagement here. Headhunter trying to retreat back. Kotobe's going to try and engage here. There goes a Death Coil, finishing off some more units. 2 Kotobe's are out onto the field. We don't see any Abominations, and the Kotobe's really need to be able to dine and dash here. There's one Abomination that should be a priority target to try and eat as the Kotobe's gets taken down there. XiaoKai is just so far pushing in through this battle, putting in a lot of pressure, and it looks like it is working out well. Silence onto the Tauren Chieftain. Tauren Chieftain does have a Brilliance or a Pipe. That is the perfect item for him, and also has a Potion of Greater Mana. That may be able to flip the script here if he's able to use that Potion of Greater Mana and finish off more units. All right, burrowing Cryptfiend units are now trying to retreat back here. Tauren Chieftain is still in the back as Headhunter is getting a little bit more. There's that Potion of Mana. There is that Stomp right there. Headhunter trying to bounce around, finishing off another Tauren Chieftain up to level 4. That Brilliance Aura giving plenty of mana. Kotobe's unable to finish off his meal, as the Tauren Chieftain should be trying to lay down another Stomp here. Another Kotobe's needs to get added in. More Berserkers, more Berserkers need to get trained up here, as we should be looking at another Stomp or something happening as the units are trying to regroup together. 51 supply compared to 37. XiaoKai able to push in with so much damage as the Spirit Walkers are getting trained up. Thank you for the follow. Coming back around here, Berserker's trying to retreat away, but this is just not going so well at all. Where was the beautiful play coming in from Soin in game number 1, as XiaoKai seems to have just find his footing underneath him, and well, is just punishing every single one of Soin's decisions. He hasn't been able to capitalize all that much. Tauren Chieftain got the items that he needs. The Pipe of Insight, giving mana as well. Tauren Chieftain now in a bit of trouble. So much damage. Tauren Chieftain forcing to use a Scroll of Town Portal. Healing Wave as the Tauren Chieftain, as soon as he gets back in, needs perhaps a potion of healing in order to stay alive here. Berserker going to be taking a lot more damage. It gets taken out again. Tauren Chieftain trying to land behind, gets in a decent stomp again. But so far, the Death Knight and the Lich with that damage is just adding up so quickly, removing so much armor, and the Cryptians are just able to push here, even with Orc Burrows reinforcing not enough. Tauren Chieftain has been throwing down stomps left and right, but I believe that Tauren Chieftain is on its last leg. Potion of Healing cooldown should be done. Are we going to see a Stomp here? No Stomp. Where's the healing? Where is that Stomp trying to go after that Dark Ranger? That Dark Ranger with such fast movement speed, and the Cryptfiend may be able to get the final shot. There goes the final arrow in the back of that Tauren Chieftain, who falls at level 4. Level 2 Unholy Aura coupled with Endurance Aura. The Death Knight seems to be moving so quickly, even outpacing that massive Tauren Chieftain there. Shadowhunter trying to retreat to the back, but we all see how this is going to end here. The Death Knight, 5-3-3 heroes pushing through without the threat of the Tauren Chieftain. and the destroyer is just constantly being able to devour magic and remove some of those shadow wolves, and that's just gonna go in favor here. Obsidian statue is really prolonging this push as the Death Knight now surrounded by level 4 heroes, and Soin finally gives the GG there. There's the GG, a final icy blast to finish off that Farseer. Game 1 going into Soin in this best of 3 matchup, but XiaoKai, perhaps alarmed at how well Soin was playing, kicked it into higher gear and was able to, well, come back with a quick 2-0. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.